3, 2, 1. Boom. Now we're ready. Alan was out of shot and myself. Actually, I'm still out of shot, but I'm getting tired of fidgeting with this. I was just saying thank you for coming on.
Oh, yeah, you bet, man.
There's so much that I want to talk to you about. Number one, you have got to be you're one of the longest standing employees of the shotgun range. I know you don't work there anymore, but you had for as long as ever. You're the owner of a moose lodge. Or not the owner, the head of the Moose Lodge. Yeah. And to my understanding, the Moose Lodge isn't a cult?
No.
Okay, yeah, see, and this is all
there's no, secret treasure or,
It's, you know what, the Moose Lodge is one of those funny things. That's like okay, I want you to tell me the difference right now. Like, what's the difference what's a Masonic center? Because we have one of those in town as well, right?
Yeah, they're kind of similar, but that one... I saw a couple episodes of some Netflix series on it, and like that one they have the swearing in and ceremonies and a whole bunch of.
But that's kind of it, though, right? Like
as far as what the Moose does is basically it supports I guess for a child city basically. So these are kids on their not necessarily last chance, but they've been through a lot. Parents can't be there, no other family. They go there, college is paid for. Some of them even go on to be doctors.
Wait, the Moose pays for these kids?
Yeah, there's like 10,000 lodges, so every lodge throws in a little bit. And
how did you get involved with the Moose Lodge?
I live right next door to one.
Sure.
And they, there's a bar in there.
Is there?
Yeah, so.
And then, so you were like, man, I could really go for a beer. How about this fucking...
just kind of cruised in and actually knew the guy bartending. And he was like, hey, dude, yeah, sign up. And then just being in there, it was like, man, this place has so much potential. Like, we need to, let's step it up. And they were like, get on the board. And I was like, okay, all right, fine. And then
here
we are.
Let's back this up. So you took it upon yourself to be a leading member of the Moose Lodge because you thought it had potential and it was kind of like it's kind of like like an average Joe story. You were just like, yo, man, like we could turn this into
sort of like it was like little stuff like they'd be out of some type of booze and it's like one of the guys was always going to a distributor to pick it up and it's like, hey, there's services that deliver, why aren't you guys doing that?
And then why weren't they doing that?
I think it's just some older guys in a routine, I think.
Yeah.
So, and, you always had to, for that place, you had to pay, cash on delivery. And it's like, you can get that on credit, net 30.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing. Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So it was just like little stuff like that. And kind of got talked into it. And here we are.
Yeah. It's fucking bananas. I've driven past the Moose Lodge and now it's the Moose Lodge. And then there's some numbers after it. Is that just the branch it is? Like the lodge it is?
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
And I'm pretty sure it's just like, in the order that so our number is 1780.
Yeah.
So we were the 1,780th.
I thought that was a year.
No.
I keep fucking
so like each city's got a different one, so.
And does Manhattan Beach have one?
No.
But there's one on PCH.
Redondo does.
Redondo, right?
Yeah, Torrance does. Gardena, Hawthorne, Santa Monica. Yeah, they're all over the place.
Do you guys get together and play each other fucking softball?
They used to do that a lot back in the day, and it's starting to kind of start up again.
Really?
So
is that because
yeah? So but like so once a month we meet up for because it's kind of organized into districts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So in April we're meeting up at the one in town and gonna play them all in cornhole. So.
Wait, you said meeting up at the one in town. What's the one in town?
That was the one, yeah.
Okay, for sure. And then how many members are in the lodge?
We have 265. Each one's different. So
265 members.
Yep.
Are they all on like a given Friday? Will they all be in the lodge?
Not all 265, but yeah, good crowd.
That's wild. And you're the president?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
I think I'm gonna need. Okay, I feel like you're giving me the skinny, and this is a podcast, so I need you. To, I need you to get. So how the fuck 265 people cared enough to sign up for the Moose Lodge, but not be the president, and you walked in because you needed a beer and was like, "I'll be the president."
Well,
and they're like,
so
I
joined like 3 years ago.
Okay,
so it was like there was less then.
Okay,
like it's slowly grown. So that's kind of, and we started a cornhole league middle of last year, and that was a big boost in numbers.
Yeah.
So like, and some people only come in on certain days. It's like they work out of town, but they're a member somewhere else, so they'll see them every Wednesday.
Yeah.
One beer and out. Some people are there every day.
Now, when does it open?
So during the week, Monday through Thursday, open at 4, and then depending on how many people are in there, that kind of dictates when it closes.
What does it look like inside?
It's looks like a bar.
I feel. Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
With like fucking light up signs on the wall and shit.
Oh yeah.
Is there tables?
Yeah.
Is there booths? No
booths.
Oh, okay.
So.
Is there like fold up tables? I'm trying to get a vibe.
They're like little cocktail tables. And,
okay,
yeah.
See, I've had to Google image what a Moose Lodge looks like. There's a couple.
And everyone looks a little different.
There's a couple buildings in town that I couldn't for the life of me figure out what they were, and I still haven't pinned down what the fuck the Masonic temple is.
I was in there. We were in there in high school one time for like a UN type. I forget what it was, but we were in the basement, so. And it had like a picture of George Washington and like all this, weird paintings. But upstairs, who knows? Like, I think that's the hall they rent out for like events and stuff.
I like to imagine there's like this huge drain that like comes down and like washes onto the members of like.
Oh, and they probably got a big vault with gold.
Yeah,
and,
I don't know what it is. So again, Angel and Shelby were on yesterday, and I love talking to Angel because, Angel doesn't trust the government, I would like to say, and he might. I don't know, dude. I'll let him reiterate, but I don't necessarily trust everything that's given to us via the news, and I feel the Masonic temple and stuff. I mean, and it might just. I think I used the term like a good Tom Clancy story.
Yeah.
Like I don't. It's not that I necessarily like want to believe that we live in a corrupt country, because there really is some of the best qualities in this country.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've traveled around the world. You've been to the fucking Ukraine or Czech Republic?
Yeah,
or
Ukraine. Yeah,
Ukraine.
Kiev.
Yeah, and I
for a vape show.
And I want to talk about that.
That was wild.
Yeah, so I have been all over the world. That's far enough. I mean, I'm sure saw some different cultures, some different poverty.
Yeah, it was actually. It wasn't as culture shocky as you would think. The weird thing that stood out, and it like hit me like a bag of bricks like the third or fourth day, was like all the chicks were either super hot or
just like nuts.
Short little grandmother, like older. Like there was no in between, and like that was kind of bizarre. Like there wasn't like any average looking middle like. And we were in the capital, and we were, traveling around. Like,
what do you think that is?
I have no idea, man.
You think the middle-aged women get the fuck out?
Well, and
there
was still a State Department warning when I went, because
what does that mean?
Like Russia took over Crimea.
Yeah, so
that was like a year. I went a year after that happened, and that was like 100 miles from where I went. But I don't know if a bunch of people just got up and left because of that, or. So, I mean, I don't know, but it was like, and then, the guy I was with, I was like, hey man, you noticing this too? And he was like, yeah, it's kind of weird.
How did that come about? Like, so how did you end up signing up? Well, not signing up. How did you end up in the Ukraine, dude?
Oh, so started working at the vape shop in town. And then, at the time, the owner had his own juice company. And he had
and they're like, you want to be the president?
Yeah, so he was going to some international shows, and he just couldn't go to that one. And it was like already paid for, and he was like, you want to go? And I was like,
what's a vape show look like?
It's just like a trade show.
Yeah?
It's just like a regular, booths and
And there's like different, is it like different builds, different mods?
It'd be like hardware, juice company. I mean, this one was kind of wild because there was like a couple coffee companies there too. Like,
to keep you stimulate. But Jesus,
I mean, like, selling like full on bags and stuff. Like, it was, yeah, it was cool. I mean, and at that time, that there was a lot more of that going on too. There was like a lot of smaller companies.
Is vaping becoming less popular?
I think it's becoming simpler. Like,
because people don't want to fucking like battle.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, at least at that time, they were coming in. They're like, "Hey, I need to get off cigarettes." And
yeah,
like we at the shop, we've seen people just go away. You know, they started a 6 milligram nicotine, go to a 3, go to a 0, and then just stop seeing them.
Really?
So, yeah,
that's good.
So
I thought that was what vaping was for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but there's people out there that enjoy a cigar, and I have friends. I think, and it kills me to say, but I think my little brother, he really enjoys smoking cigarettes. I think he'll smoke forever. He likes, I think he's like my grandparents. He likes the vibe. You know, he likes like getting his hands dirty. He works with concrete.
Yeah,
I'm the fucking lame
artist. I
artist.
kind of get it, but like when I was smoking, like just out of nowhere, all of a sudden you're coughing, and you know, it's like. That's not good.
I haven't smoked in almost a year. Yeah,
good for you, man.
A year. Yeah, but you know, like, I talk a lot about sobriety, but I would be lying if I told everybody that I didn't utilize, and I guess this is using marijuana medically, but I utilized marijuana to wean off cigarettes. Is whenever I was having really bad. Well, I was fucking stoned all the time. I'm not going to downplay it. Like, I went to the medicine cabinet and weighed out like a 0.01 hit and then like took a dose. I just, so I'll speak to you like a human being right now. So whenever I was having a really bad cigarette craving, I would take a hit and all of a sudden you're not so worried about having a cigarette. I get so high. Yeah. I was like, instead of like having,
and then the motion too, and the exhale, you know, that kind of does a little something too.
Are you talking about smoking cigarettes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what
it kind of,
I was just thinking about this today because I was on a run, and I like to take some time and like think about like who, like my guests, and like what to talk to them about. And I was excited to talk to you about like how you're vaping. Yeah. And because I wanted to share my experiences when I quit smoking. And one of the craziest things, and it almost made me angry at cigarettes, is my entire body was having a hard time being the same body off of cigarettes. It wasn't like I fucking miss doing this, and like I didn't know how to like enjoy my coffee and feel good. It's like my eating habits were out of whack. Like my digestive system is like still not the same. I haven't taken, like, I still have to supplement to get a proper shit going. Yeah. And that's the realness, man. And it's fucking crazy that the idea, I don't know. I fucking, when that had first happened to me, I couldn't help but feel like, imagine this fucking scummy dude. Not so much scummy, like this Breaking Bad season 6 situation where it's like 2 fucking dudes in a lab coat in this really nice underground lab, and they're trying to figure out how to fucking get people back in the gas station buying cigarettes, and they're so good at their job that they've figured out how to keep you from taking a shit in order so that you'll go back and buy these cigarettes. Man, it fucking blew my mind, and it was the first time. Like, I almost like enslaved is such a fucking dramatic way to put it, because there's people all over the world who are actually slaves of people. Yeah. But I felt owned by somebody, if that makes sense. Like,
it's one of they say a nicotine addiction's like worse than a heroin addiction. Like, just on the what your body craving and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, but I also
never fucked around with that, so couldn't tell you. But
I don't know. I've seen Train Spotting, and apparently and
I mean, that's like, Dr. Drew was saying that the other day. It's like they're both pretty damn close. I'm not. He wasn't comfortable putting one above the other. But.
Well, you know, if I had to analyze that situation, I would say that maybe I can see that the nicotine addiction is dangerous. I'm not going to use more dangerous than the other, because let's lay out some ground rules. Number 1, heroin fucking kills people.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And people die.
Yeah.
And people still do it knowing that there's a chance they're going to die.
Oh, yeah.
So the addiction is fucking real. Yeah. Okay, now with that being said,
that out of the way,
nicotine addiction is this slow fucking burn.
Yeah.
You know, instead of this flamethrower torch to the fucking forest, it's this slow incense burn where all of a sudden it's just this little, and it starts with like a little cough. Oh, geez. But it starts with this psychological, like, I think it's fucking really tough because it doesn't kill you. So you're like, I'm going to quit whenever.
Yeah.
And it's like this abusive relationship.
I'll quit later.
Yeah. It's this abusive relationship that you're fucking stuck in. And
then there's no real like rock bottom until you get like cancer,
dude.
Like,
and that was tough. Yeah. And the hardest part, man, is I'll be real, man. And I'm being honest these days about how I can be a pretty sensitive guy. But man, there was times where I was in tears because I just didn't know how to handle myself emotionally in situations and everyday situations that would frustrate me or annoy me or something. Not having a cigarette and not smoking weed and not going and getting a beer and shit, man. That shit, like, I fucking. You learn. It was the first time that I was stuck with myself. Yeah. And it was like, no matter how you feel right now, there's nothing you can do about this other than figure this shit out. And I realized, and what that had done to me is that accumulated in doing so. Before that had happened to me, I accumulated 10 years of me emotionally stunting my growth or stunting my emotional growth because just to go back in high school when I was fucking worried about hanging out with friends in my social life instead of chasing grades. And I fucking, and Miss Moon's like, yo, you're not going to graduate if you keep fucking behaving like this. I went and got stoned. I didn't fucking go worry about my grades. College, fucking failing classes. Fuck it, I'll take it again. I'm now paying for those classes in more debt than I should be in. I mean, and these are all things that I never fucking really had to deal with because I would just get stoned or get drunk or something. And then towards the later years, man, cocaine got involved in like my drinking nights and shit. And then enough was enough. But by the time you wipe all that shit out, man, it was like, I thank my parents for making me as competitive as I am because I couldn't help but feel a frustration when I was left with myself and feeling so unequipped for everyday situations. I was like mad at myself, like, yo, what the fuck, man? Like, I can't even handle a fucking parking ticket without feeling like this is the fucking end for me. Like, where did I fall off the wagon so bad that I can't even fucking handle this situation? And that's when I was like, that's when I really got serious about my sobriety, is because I was like, dude, like, no matter what happens to me right now, like, I'll never be more than what I am in this situation because this is who I fucking really am right now, you know? Like, that stoned state and shit, I think people forget that that's a state. You know, that's a state that we put ourselves in. That's not who we wake up with in the morning. That's, if you were stripped of everything, you know, that's like what they take away everything and you'll see what you're worth. Man, when that shit goes away, you're stuck with and not you personally. When a person is stuck with the tantrums and the uncertainty and the fucking deep dark holes that you put yourself in and like don't know how to call yourself out, man, like that's a real fucking take. And I would say that it takes more than a fucking couple of days to figure that out. I would say if someone is unsure about where they stand with addiction, I would say 30 days. And I say by the 30 days, not that you're over in 30 days, but by 30 days, it's so fucking tough and you have no idea why the fuck you're like doing this and everything's boring and your friends have stopped calling you because like they don't, like, you don't go drink. So like now you're fucking second guessing like, yo, were my friendships built on fucking just getting drunk? Like, how come nobody's calling me to watch TV and shit? It's fucking a trip, dude. It's a fucking trip.
Yeah, that's
bam,
that's
slam
always
dunk.
a interesting one, you know, like, you know, because as kids, you know, you go over, play Sonic the Hedgehog on the Genesis, and just like, oh, you know, and it was like, and then as you get older, it's like, you always got to go on some adventure or whatever, and then
make sure you're talking to that microphone.
It does turn into a weird dynamic.
Yeah.
You know, especially if the weekends are all about the bars. And,
well, for sure. Know, but that's why it's important to take time to yourself to fucking, okay. So again, like, I had this problem because I was very concerned with where I stand socially, and I would have fucking been anybody if it would have meant that my friends would have accepted me better. I used to say, like, if somebody had been like, "What's your fucking dream for your future?" I would have told you, and I remember saying this multiple times, me and my buddies on a porch, smoking, drinking, doing fucking 19-year-old shit. And that was like my dream. And then because that was my dream, I was in line. I used to tell people, like, what are you good at? Man, I just am a good friend. And like, that's all I was concerned to be. Now, once that goes away, first of all, it's fucking heartbreaking when friends stop calling you because you're not drinking and stuff. God, what a like, outside of all the chemical reactions that are happening in your body by fucking reprogramming yourself because you're not doing something that you did every day. Jesus, it gets even fucking tougher because now your social life is turning its back on you. But in doing so, you're on your own little mental island, and it fucking sucks. And you're fucking Tom Hanks, and it's Castaway. And you're scared, and you miss your friends and shit. But all of a sudden, you make Wilson. You make a Wilson, and you're like, what is going to be my fucking Wilson, man? Because I'm here on this island. Nobody's fucking calling me. And then you go out, and you're like, this is just the bars, man. This is just the bars. And then for the first time in your addictive life, you're doing, well, for my life, everybody's different. I had like a little bit of identity thing. For the first time in my addicted life, I was doing what I wanted to do. And what I wanted to do, apparently, was build computers, play video games with the craziest graphics I've ever seen, indulge myself in art, listen to music that I thought was good. Yeah. You know, didn't have to fucking share my records with anybody. Go to fucking shows. I still go to hardcore shows.
Right. Oh, yeah. You went to that one in Boston.
I have heart. Yeah, I still go. And and me going, the need to do that is like so in line with myself spiritually. Yep. When I was taking a train across Massachusetts to Worcester, and that's how you pronounce it, Worcester. It's spelled Worcester, but they pronounce it Worcester. When I was taking a train and I'm fucking in that train and I'm looking at my girlfriend who stood by me through the whole thing, and she's fucking riding this train, and we're in Massachusetts going through the backcountry of New England, like, there's something that happens to yourself spiritually because you're so far from home, and not in miles, but like emotionally, you're so far from somebody that you never thought you'd be. And then once that happens, man, you're fucking unstoppable because it's it's like, I'm sorry, dude,
it's basically, kind of what it sounds like you're describing. Like, everyone needs to find something that for them, not doing stuff for, whatever.
100%.
And if, it's kind of like Brave New World, just go through life, take the somas, it's like, and just, everyone's complacent, whatever. That's not a recipe for success. Yeah, so
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm probably echoing in the microphone right now. I admire you for you come from a very large group of friends, almost like you guys are always throwing the same parties. And I would say that there's almost 15, 20 of you consistently at these parties. That would be so dangerous for me because I would be an absolute shadow of that friend group. I would be doing only the things that they were doing. But this vape thing, did you go by yourself?
There was another guy who I,
But I mean, in your friend group.
Oh yeah, it was just me. It was last minute, like found out the week before I was going.
And then the shotgun range and then the Moose Lodge. Is any of those friends signed up with the Moose Lodge?
Yeah, a couple of them. And then one of my buddies, Jason's on the administrator. He's like money guy and does all that stuff.
Oh, cool. But it's very cool. It sounds like you like, I mean, even with the vape thing, I think it's neat that you liked it enough and you pursued it, man.
Yeah, like, I mean, and God, so how many went to Ukraine, couple trade shows in Vegas? I mean, Vegas is Vegas.
Yeah, for sure.
Couple in Texas, those were really fun.
Yeah, I heard Texas
barbecue.
I fucking love barbecue. So I did vegetarian for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to fucking dip my toes in every pool that life has to offer, There's one thing, and what had happened to me was I had told my dad, "Hey, Dad, like every other Rogan listener, has eventually been like, "Hey, Dad, I want to go hunting."
Yeah.
And he's like, Drew, I promised your mom I wouldn't hunt anymore, because my dad's from East Coast, back like side of Virginia, New Jersey. They used to just
a lot of deer.
Yeah, used to just go hunt in the backyard and shit. And I told him I want to hunt, and he pretty much laughed at me. It was like, dude, you're not built to hunt. And I was like, yeah, man, like you go and you kill it and you kill your food. He's like, Andrew, what happens when you miss your shot and you fucking like shoot off the leg off one of these animals, and you have to like put it down because it's like sitting there whining at you. Like you have to like snap out of it. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I've never been, but even like bird hunting, pretty much every time, like you gotta, break the neck, and it's
see, it's
like could probably do it, and the food afterwards, that's good, but it's like, a lot of people just think, like you said, watching Rogan, oh yeah, let's go hunt, blah blah blah, but it's like, that's a little
fucking thing. And I think that
it's taking a life. Like it registers.
I think it's a cool trait that humans like have the ability to like be like, yo, man, like this is kind of fucked up. I like that about us.
Yeah.
It's
and just like recognizing it, and even like not even thinking about it like, oh, it's fucked up, but just having respect for the moment,
Yeah.
Like you can't go into that and like, cause it's like, if you went and like the guy was like, oh, this is my favorite part. It's like,
that'd be
like,
crazy.
All right. Okay, bro.
This is my favorite part.
But it's like, and like you said, if it doesn't just drop, it's
and
eyes gonna be looking at you.
And how often does it fucking just drop, dude?
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
I don't
see?
know. So,
especially if you're shooting a thing with a shotgun, man, like, you better be close. First of all, you're going to have to figure out how to creep close enough to the point where the bullet spread is still close enough to the point where you're hurting it. But if you're too far, you're just going to be spraying that thing with fucking BBs, man. That thing's going to be wailing, dude.
And then, like, so there's some states that have a season for, like, deer where it's, like, shotgun, buckshot only. That goes a little further than, like, what you're used to at the range. But, it's still, you gotta creep up close, like Assassin's Creed, that thing,
Yeah. So I'm kind of in a weird position with it, because in my heart, I know that I don't have the fucking guts to do it. The family just got a new dog, and your family has had a dog before, right?
No, actually.
Okay, so we had one so our old dog died, and the family got a dog named Jet.
Man.
Yeah, but like he was fucking 18, man.
Long life, that's good.
Yeah, super long.
Yeah.
And it was to the point, man, where like the sunlight was he almost seemed like and there's
just kind of there.
He seemed like he developed a form of epilepsy, and that like when he'd go outside when he went inside and went outside, you could see him like an iPhone.
Oh, the light change kind of
like an iPhone getting wet and trying to turn back on. Like
oh yeah.
And it was fucked. It was fucked. And like he'd been alive for so long, and like it. I mean, there's terrible, terrible stories. I mean, this guy was alive for 18 years. We missed him, but that was our second family dog in the course of me being alive. So, I mean, it was hard. It took a couple days, but we got this new dog, and this dog's great. Our first dog was a Rhodesian Ridgeback, and that thing's like a fucking warrior. Rhodesian Ridgebacks are bred to keep mountain lions out of fucking villages. That's why. That's
so badass.
Yeah, that's why. But so they're super loyal into the kids. They go and seek the kids while they're sleeping and go sleep on their beds.
Yeah,
they're bred. They're genetically coded to protect. I don't know what it is, but they always left
their little area.
Yeah, so I was a kid when we had it, and the Rhodesian Ridgeback seemed to would protect my mom, but always kind of left my dad alone, because I think my dad made a presence for himself.
Yeah,
and so it was coded in my dog's brain that like, okay, this guy's got it. So she'd always hang out with me and my brother. And sleep with us. It was always the first, and it was cool. Like it's cool to have a dog. My friends are having kids and stuff, and now poodle mixes are big. So that kind of
poodles get a little. They can get a little aggressive.
They can, but they're all mixed with everything. And poodles are smart as fuck, dude. They're fucking smart as fuck. So there's a lot of poodle mixes now, and so I'm not so sure. Poodles don't really have that profile though. That like, this is my fucking house, and like, you're gonna play by my rules when I come in here. Like my dog had that kind of presence, and it was the sweetest dog ever.
Yeah.
To everybody it knew, whatever. But people would come over. We'd say like, "Hey, put your hand out, let it sniff you." And then as soon as it did, it was super sweet and come bring you toys and shit. But if you thought that you were just coming into the house,
just walking in and not saying hi,
it was definitely like,
"Hey, bro."
Like,
what's your name?
Yeah,
what are you doing here?
An example.
You got an appointment?
Exactly. My mom was walking her across a field one time, and a guy was coming just home from the bar or whatever. And when they got to the field, my mom always takes her off a leash so she could go run around or whatever. But she didn't see this guy in the hooded figure, and and Nala, that's her name, Nala, like from the Lion King. Nala took off and created distance in between my mom and this guy, not my mom not even knowing that the guy was there, and turned to my mom and barked, and my mom was like, "What the fuck?" And Nala was standing in the middle of the field, and then turned to the guy and started barking, like letting this guy know, like, you're not coming any fucking closer in between her, or you got to get through me.
Intense.
and like gave the vibe that like I am not gonna like you're gonna have to, and you're gonna have to fucking.
You could tell when a dog's barking, like if it's just like sees someone walking by the window, or versus like when they're really like, "Hey, bro, this isn't happening."
And they're coded to do that. So, anyways, that was my first dog. Epic. Never like really got hurt. She broke her or nobody ever like got hurt or anything. There's a great fucking dog. But ended up breaking her leg, and and it got fixed. She got a steel rod put in her leg. She couldn't bend her leg. It was fine. She was the same dog, but as she turned 11, it got a tumor, and they were gonna either have to, and she loved running, and so she's so active. They were either gonna have to amputate her leg, or we could put her to sleep, and she would have been a fraction of the dog that we had. So we made her super comfortable, put her to sleep. That was it. We had another dog at the same time who Amy fucking had us rescue, and that dog was super dependent on the big dog. And then when the big dog left, the small dog was like, "What the fuck?" Anxiety attack, right?
Oh yeah.
And it was like that for like fucking 16 years, dude. It was like
just
the most anxious dog. So, anyways, long story short, we got a new dog, and it's a fucking his name's Jack, and he's this big. He's like about a foot tall, 2 feet long. We did a 23andMe on him. Yeah. And he's 50% poodle, 25% Chihuahua, actually, but he doesn't look like a Chihuahua at all. And 25% breeder dog. But he's so brave. He's the bravest little boy in the world, but he's super puffy. And he's super friendly. He's epic.
Dude, all those poodle mixes, how puffy they get. It's just like,
and they make them so cute, but poodles themselves aren't that cute.
No,
they're kind of like snooty looking, and
and like as purebred poodles as they get. Like, at least the ones I've met, and that's not very many, so this is anecdotal, but they've just always been mean, man. Like, it's like, okay, come in, like, all right, you could try and stuff. All right, well, going behind the baby gate, and it's like, I'm usually like, poodles are the only dogs, well, and then Chihuahuas, but they bark at everything.
Yeah, they do.
It's like, whoa.
Yes. Yeah. And it's fucking epic. But to wrap this whole fucking thing up, this thing had a kennel cough, and it had really bad worms when we got it. We got it from like some fucking lady out of a minivan. My sister hit us up. Apparently my sister's our agent for getting dogs. And so my mom met up with this lady and got this dog. Had a kennel cough, like a false sheet with its shots, so we didn't know what kind of shots it had, and it was having seizures. And what had happened is there's a little fucking crease in between the dog's skull and the nervous cord, or like in the spinal cord. He was getting, the spinal cord was too big for the dog's skull, and and so he'd have nervous issues.
How does that happen?
He just it was pinched. It was just like, it was pinched. And I don't know if it was an anomaly. He was a runt. He was the runt in his litter.
Yeah.
And so he was having seizures and shit. And the doctor, my mom frequents Mammoth to go skiing. And so the first time it happened, it was in Mammoth. She took him to Mammoth, and the doctor was pretty much like, hey, like, love your dog because, like, this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom, and it was heavy for all of us. I was afraid to get close to the dog, you know, because, like, you know, so cute and so friendly and so brave and so much personality, but
stuff's going on every day.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't every day. It was just like when it does,
it's bad.
If it does, it could be the time, you know, and it could just be like, so my first initial reaction was like, and I realized I was a little immature of me to be like afraid to get close to the dog, and I kind of like kept away from it. But like,
that's natural though. Like
I should have just manned up and been cool.
That's not an uncommon.
Yeah,
you know,
it was my first reaction, but the second reaction was like, yo, fuck that, man. Like, this poor fucking dog. Yeah. Like, the least I can do is just like give it the best year of its life, you know, and it's so happy. Like, it's the kind of dog that's very expressive, has like a full body happy, prances around with his feet and shit. So we got it on an all natural diet, this like Dr. Marty's all natural food diet, and the dog, we fed it, we gave it so much fucking food, and it's fucking huge, and it's fucking huge now.
Just fine.
And we've seen little signs of it here and there, and it's scary, but I would say it happens like 2% of the time, and he's about a year and a few months old, and he eats fine and like has fine.
Yeah, I mean, you are what you eat, right?
Yeah, and it's just a trip. So we have this new dog, and we're super thankful to have it around. And I guess it's just it's just a fucking trip.
Dogs are so awesome, but it's just like I've never. Like when we finally got in the house, I was a sophomore.
Talk to the mic, dude.
Sophomore in high school. So it's like, oh, we'll go into college in 2 years. You can't.
You went to Pomona, right?
Yeah. It's like you can't get a dog and then just, you know.
Yeah.
So there's always just been a little bit of that.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, because if you're gonna get a dog, get it forever.
Yeah.
Like, don't
for sure.
You know, like.
Yeah, that's what they say. Like the biggest thing after the holidays is like people are turning back these dogs that they get. Like they'll go and rescue animals, bring them to the family, and then like for some reason it doesn't work out. And like, what a fucking shame. Like,
I mean, like I get it if it bites your 3-month-old.
Yeah, I don't know like, how often that's happening though. I would like to see I would like to see the statistics on some.
I don't think it happens very often either.
Yeah, some family member just been like, "You got a dog? We can't have a dog."
And there's no way to know the stats of this either. Yeah. But if it's one of those moves where, oh well, this is a black lab, I wanted a golden retriever.
That's bullshit.
Fuck you.
Yeah, like, well, that's bullshit in that
happens. Like that's the thing that happens.
And we're making snobby voices. That's not directed towards any.
That was
certain
gender
person.
Neutral.
That was a gender neutral voice. Because I know fucking guys who are super picky and annoying about shit too.
Oh yeah. Everyone can be everything positive or negative.
Yeah, everybody's capable, and that's
all that
the
stuff you can't
life.
Change about yourself. Everyone is capable of that stuff. Like
that's the roulette of life. Man. Yeah, it's like we all have the ability to make those choices. You know, we all have. Yeah. We all wake up every day and decide who we're going to be, whether you do it subconsciously or consciously.
Exactly.
We all make decisions every day, man. It's one of the fucking saddest things. I can't stand it. We were talking about how I was a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Ever since I had to take my dog to the vet when he had the cough, that's when I decided to go vegetarian. I was like, man, like I can't, like this thing's fucking, it was so small and it was coughing and like, so helpless, dude. And I was like, man, like I was having a hard time drawing the line in between the dog and like a cow. Yeah. And like I was just fucking tripping. Like, cause it was like a child to me. I was young when we had our dog that lived for 18 years, and you do the math. But this dog, I'm like an adult. I'm old enough to be somebody's dad, you know, and like this little fucking dog is counting on me but doesn't even know it. And I'm like, fuck, man, it took me for a trip, man.
And I get the vegetarian thing because that factory farming stuff is so gross. And
I'm still against it.
There's laws against like showing it because rightfully, if a lot of those videos got out, like no matter what type of farm it is, like a lot of people will go vegetarian.
How fucking crazy is that? How fucking crazy is that?
And it's like,
there's
well,
laws
okay,
against
how
it.
about you just like try and fix the problem then? And like there are a lot of ranches and farms that are doing that type of stuff, I mean, there's a reason Whole Foods exists. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, like even there's options, but it's fucking crazy how it's like it's like, yeah, dude, like sure you can get these free range chickens.
About this, bro. Like,
you can get these free range eggs, but it's gonna cost you another $1.50. It's like, whoa, like
but apparently owning chickens isn't that expensive either. There's a lot of people doing that, but you gotta have a yard.
That's the move, right?
Yeah, but you don't really need a big yard, so
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
you do you need one about as
you
big
need a
as
little
this room.
Yeah. It just depends how many chickens you want, but like
you don't want it too small because then you're factory farm. Yeah, you don't want to make yourself a factory.
I mean, they cuddle up anyways. Like, they just need a running room and
You don't want to like fuck around and accidentally make your backyard a factory farm.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, dude, they don't even need that much room, man. We're gonna put them in these shoebox.
I got 400 chickens back here.
Fuck, man.
But I mean, and you could tell the difference too, man. Like
in the eggs.
Yeah,
dude.
Like,
the fucking dark yolks.
He's got like 6. like just small little. Made a little run for him. He's got
the dark yolks.
So every once in a while, I don't have chickens. Know a guy who does, but every once in a while he's like, oh yeah, here's a couple eggs. Like,
but when you make the eggs, is it the dark yolk?
It's so good.
Yeah,
dude.
It's really good.
Man.
The consistency's different, right?
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's so good.
And this sounds gross, but there's more like anatomy inside the egg too. There's like a little like bit more like actual film that like would be. It doesn't sound like.
Yeah, it's like. It's just more defined. It's like an HD egg, if that makes sense.
Yes, it's like an HD egg, but there's like actually, it looks like this like is like comes from a chicken, and it looks
and
like
they're
like
spotted. You know, like even you go to the grocery store, it's like straight white eggs.
Yeah.
That's weird. He said he's never seen one of those.
Yeah.
And then, but like, he's also never seen a straight brown egg. Like, those are usually in the packaging, like, the more $1.50 more.
Yeah.
And
they put them in like the
those yolks are
packaging.
a little darker, but it's like, they're always speckled and, like, it's like nature.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that it's just
it's
straight
not
white,
yellow.
straight. And then there's not that little stamp on there that,
Yeah. There's the real yolks are a fucking orange, dude. It's almost like a dark orange.
So good.
Yeah, but it's really fucking good. I had the chance to I've taken up baking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like one of the things.
Like you doing like desserts or like
the cookies, breads,
what's your favorite?
Flour. So far I've so I started baking, so I'll tell you exactly how we got down to that. So this Christmas season, it was time for me to buy gifts for everybody for Christmas. And I come from an Amazon family, unfortunately. Like, if we need something, it's like, yo, man, like, fuck going to Target.
Yeah.
I'd rather just wait till tomorrow for it to get here and get these batteries or whatever have you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way, I think that's the way of the future. Unfortunately,
well, it's
that's
just efficient. Like,
yeah, super efficient.
And if it's not important,
and I love that. I don't love. It's a weird word. The phenomenon is that Amazon sells other people's shit too.
Yeah,
like it's a distributor for other people's shit. So it's really a marketplace. It's not like you're only buying Amazon products. You're also like buying, dude, all my art books are from Amazon. Like you can get fucking anything, my tablet, my keyboard, like everything is from Amazon. So
I remember when it was just like multimedia, like books, CDs.
It was just books. That's right.
And movies and like, video game and like, maybe a couple, like the whole food thing or battery. Like that's kind of,
that was like heavy. Do you remember Home Grocer?
Yeah.
Home Grocer
the little trucks with the peach on the side.
Yeah, people don't remember that, but Home Grocer,
it was just ahead of its time.
It was ahead of its time, and you had to fill out fucking like a paper slip in order to do.
Yeah,
because
you mailed it in, right? But I think that was more because dial-up was the primary. Like most people still had dial. Few cable connections here or there, but it was expensive. So it's like, you couldn't really make a proficient website, and it's like that would be a good user experience. It would just take too long.
Yeah,
like that was a lot of like the early internet issues. So like I get it, but
that's tripping me out thinking about that. But Christmas came around, and it's time to go through my Christmas list. Girlfriend's mom. She loves being a host. She loves cooking. Ceramic fucking dishes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Boom. I have a selection. I go through my entire list of people I need to Christmas shop for, and I'm done in like fucking 18 minutes, and it's on its way to my house. What an unenchanting experience Christmas shopping was this year, man. There was no love put into it.
Yeah,
it just was super. It felt super impersonal, man.
Yeah, I did a little of that, but I did do a little shopping, and it was like actually like, you know what? Instead of going to the Manhattan Beach Barnes Noble, I'm gonna go to one that's a little further away and just kind of browse. And because it's just like everyone's out. It was kind of closer to Christmas, and it's just like didn't have anything else to do. And it kind of gets you in the season. I was wearing the Santa hat. Like,
there you go. Yeah, it's fun. Well, it's fun to do.
I love Christmas, man.
Yeah, Christmas great because Christmas. I am going to love Christmas a lot more than I did, and I'll tell you why. So after this experience on Amazon where I was like, man, what an impersonal experience. Yeah. Like, I got all of my Christmas shopping done in fucking no time, but I don't even feel like I Christmas shopped. I just couldn't help but picture, my fucking whoever I Christmas shop for going and be like, I need a ceramic dish. Boom.
Yeah.
Like, all I did was spend my money was just like spent my dollar signs instead of your dollar signs. That's not much of a Christmas gift. It's not very thoughtful. So I was like, dude, what am I doing? I was like, I'm a fucking artist. Like, I should only be painting or fucking cooking my Christmas gifts.
Stuff. Yeah.
And then that's when I was like, dude, I fucking got it in this day and age of consumerism. I'm going to make it a point to keep the tradition of like handcrafted goods. So I was like, I fucking returned almost like half of my gifts.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, I'm going to make the best sugar cookies that I can. And I fucking whipped them. I made everything from scratch. I only make from scratch. I like only use flour, eggs, try to get the right ingredients. I fucking measure out and like rolling pin and I like take the fucking measuring cups and like I like will scrape off their exact measurement, and like it's fun for me, dude, because inadvertently I have found a therapeutic way for me to disconnect from my very cyber life, man. I mean, like, I'm a concept artist. I'm like, I build computers. I love video games and movies. I'm Spotify. I'm a huge music fan.
Yeah.
I'm always connected to something. I do a podcast, microphones in my fucking face.
Cooking is so like, and I'm not much of a baker because it's like you said, it's got to be so exact. You're doing the knife over the.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like it as much.
You like beating meat, huh?
Or
a little barbecue action?
Yeah, that's fun. Like, I really get down on like cooking some gumbo or like some chilies or like just stuff that you can kind of mess with. Barbecue more to like actually cook up the sauce and like
Jackson Pollock.
Yeah,
like kind of throw something together.
Yeah, like it really doesn't matter what it is, but just something that, and it's just good. Like,
yeah. Well, I think that whatever you decide to cook, I've learned because I YouTube everything.
Yeah.
You can cut the cable all over my house and keep fucking YouTube, and I'm good. I'll fucking YouTube everything forever. But they're getting a little fucking stiff with the ads, dude. I'm not liking it. I can't.
Dude, I'm not either.
I haven't played one fucking video in the past 2 months without a fucking ad.
And they got that new thing, ad 1 of 2, and it's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And it's like you can't skip it, so you got to watch the whole 30 seconds.
Yes.
And then
it's Patrick Stewart.
Then there's another one where you can, skip it. It's like, so I got to watch 2 commercials. It's like, I remember when Hulu first came out, I was in college, and it was Heroes was out at the time. I think that was the show we were watching. We all missed it because we were doing something else, but it was like, oh, the episode's on Hulu. Like, all right, so we pulled it up, spun our laptop around. there was like 8 commercial breaks. Each break, they played the same exact Nissan spot, one minute spot. So it was back to back. So it's 2 minutes of the same commercial, 8 times throughout a 40-minute show, and it was just like I was like, never doing this again.
That's awful. Yeah, I can't stand.
And like that, like at the time, Hulu was free. You didn't even need a email. Like it was just like, oh, this is what they got, and it like I was done after that. I was like, never going to this site again because I'm not gonna. If it was a different commercial, like we probably would have been okay. But it's the same exact. It's like
that's awful.
Yeah,
and they're doing that too. I fucking watched Patrick Stewart fucking talk about refugees like 19 times a day since.
Oh, is that new Star Trek?
No. He's talking about refugees. It's like a political fucking. It's like a PSA, dude. Yeah. And I'm just like, yo, man, I'm trying to listen to fucking Time Cop right now.
I've been seeing a lot of those Bloomberg ones.
Yeah,
at least those get changed up though. It's like
So I don't know. But I was watching. I saw YouTube like baking tips and tricks and shit. I fucking YouTube tips and tricks of anything. If I fucking am into it, I have YouTubed just the activity. Like for example.
Yeah, and then like
coffee.
The shortcuts.
I'll YouTube the keyword coffee and then top video. 6 types of coffee. And now I'm fucking doing that. So, but I have learned through personal experience that I think that I love hearing that people cook. Number one, I believe that in a past life, if I could give up everything, I'll never not do art. Art is my fucking jam. But if in another life, if I had the time and patience, I would have been a cook. I have not, and fucking shout out Fuj. I have fucking nothing. I admire the chef experience, dude. I know you never go home. I know how much fucking work it is, but I love that about it. It's like, and I don't mean to downplay it, but it's like Navy SEAL to me. It's like you're fucking in the kitchen. You are you never get any love front of house. Like you're just in the you're in this heat wave in the back, putting your heart into. I love cooking shows. I love. Yeah, dude. I watched the video last night. It was fucking amazing. It's a real life chef breaks down cooking scenes in movies, but they also have one that's like Jocko Willink breaks down like Navy SEAL scenes and it's amazing. But I have learned that through all the people who like to cook, I have took a second because now I'm baking. I reflect on why people cook the things that they do, thinking about like my girlfriend's mom having us over for dinner and like growing up with my parents, what they used to cook for me. And I can't help but notice that it seems like whatever you like to cook is indicative of like your, like an extension of your personality.
Yeah.
You know
and I think cultures are kind of that way too. Like, so, I mean, just kind of going off the cuff, it's like, there's some dishes that cultures will be like super known for that take a long time to cook. Mm-hmm. And it's like, but it's because it's a, exercise and it's a, that they're really proud of it. And it's, like. And
to the rest of the, and what cooking is in its essence is like, it's like replenishment to keep us alive. And it's like what brings us together to like share our stories, because it's something we all have to do. You might as well make it beautiful and colorful and enjoy.
If only you just didn't have to do dishes.
Yeah, dishes. Dude, you're talking to a dude who's into baking, dude, and everything dries up and turns into a fucking... Yeah, it's incredible. But something that I have learned through my love for baking is I have learned that it is a really nice contrast to my hardcore music, my very like, which is fucking, I've been listening to hardcore and punks for over, I mean, shit, dude, fuck, we're coming up on 20 years, man, like a long time. So there's like, and I love angry music. I always love angry music.
I do too, man.
and then I like going to the gym, and I like hurting myself and like fucking putting myself through. I like getting up at 6 and fucking working until fucking 8 o'clock at night. And like, I love all these gnarly things that when I bake, it gives me a chance to like play with like delicate flour and like, it's very contrasted. And in doing so, I think that like, if somebody was onlooking my process, why the fuck is this kid baking? It'd be, it's cool to do the CSI work and be like, maybe it's because like, all of these things about his personality.
I think it's just kind of a wiring too, though, because like, so at least more of their early stuff, like that band Muse, those dudes were all just like classical musicians playing in symphonies and stuff. And it's like, I was shocked when I like saw that. It was like, you're like, what? I mean, like it's a little heavier, gnarly Dragon Force ish like solos, and it's like what? But it's still just music, but like there's a lot of that. Like you find out like God, what's coming to mind? Lost my train of thought. Damn it.
It's okay. I got you because
you know what I mean? Like it's like the Zach Brown guys, they bring all their motorcycles with them on tour and just ride. And,
do they?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
They have like 2 trailers apparently. I don't know if they do it every single one. Yeah. But one with the toys and one with all the gear.
That's epic, dude. Yeah, I think maybe you're
it's about
talking
getting the hobby,
Yeah, like, I think you're indicative. I think you're talking of like revealing a little bit of yourself in your hobby that you choose to do. And so again,
and it doesn't really matter what it is as long as you're doing it and just trying to get better every time.
Yeah, for sure. But I think expression is one. So like if I think expression is and it sounds so cheesy, but expression is like our God-given right. Like we have the ability to be anything. And like, dude, when I fucking watch cooking shows and people are like bringing their personality into their dishes and shit, I think it's so fucking cool because I love the backstories. I love the chaoticness. In photographs, I had such a hard time really appreciating for photography until I found chiaroscuro, which just means and I might have pronounced it wrong, but it's an Italian word for light and dark. And that's when like you really start getting like noir effects and because like you grow up pictures and you're just thinking like family photos, but it wasn't until like I discovered like light and dark and photography became like this medium for expression. It wasn't just like family photos and shit. I love the backstory of like why the photographer or the cook or whatever, like why it's happening and like what kind of person they are.
Camera phones have kind of taken that away too.
Yeah,
like,
and
you capture more, but there's not a lot of like, oh hey man, I haven't seen you, let's get a pic. Just like family reunions or what. Like there's just
So
the selfies.
The selfies is a whole nother thing, man. What a weird
also,
thing.
Like, I mean, are they even going to be teaching photography in high school in, another 10 years? Because everyone's got a camera phone and they've been using it since they were 5?
I believe yes, because I believe that you still have to learn a strong sense of composition. You still have to learn a sense of light. You can contrast light and dark, good use of shapes, good use of flow through composition. There's a million things that you can learn.
Yeah.
And I you know what? Shout out.
Like I was kind of
I love him, Pat. If I handed my little brother a picture, and I went to art school. I went to the art institute. It wasn't a big deal.
I'm an artist.
Yeah, I went to art school. I am a photographer. I've done all of this work with cameras. I have. It sounds so snobby and lame of me, but I have a certain standard for photos where if my poor little brother, if I asked my brother to take a picture of me, I would say 9 out of 10 times I got to give him back the camera and be like, no man, can you just like get the fucking like the drop down and look up. So this book up here framed here, grab that book, that top book. Yeah. Just flip through it. You'll see it. Just go to any random page. Like look at the different. So he's looking at Marcus Mateo's book, Framed Ink. And what that is he's a noir comic book artist, but he fucking rules at composition. And you'll see all of his compositions make you feel a different way. And it's just through grayscale, light and dark shapes.
Yeah.
And that is something that you won't be able to just fucking know from having a camera phone, my friend.
Yeah, no, and
you'll have to still learn composition and flow.
The question was more, will there be an interest
in photography?
Like just at your regular average high school, because most schools have that. But like if kids have been playing with, cameras forever, like is there even because budget cuts happen. I mean, there used to be auto shop and metal shop and wood shop. Like none of
it'll
that
be
shit
as
anymore.
popular as it's really saving a saving grace for the hobby of photography is vinyl records. You would say, hey, why the fuck wouldn't you just have a Spotify and an MP3 player? Because people like buying the vinyl still. People will still like taking the fucking picture still. For fucking for Christmas, I bought Kenzie a bunch of accessories for her Fuji Max Polaroid film camera. There's something cool about fucking having a dude.
Those Polaroids are cool. The film's
I love
a little hard
things.
to get though, isn't it? Or is it easy enough?
It's Amazon, dude. Everything's easy, dude. I love having like little fucking things. I have a piece of tile over there that I got from Morocco. I'm like not fucking.
Oh, how was that?
Oh, Morocco, dude. I mean, yeah, we can talk about that. Where do you want to know, dude?
Like. Was it just cool? Would you recommend it?
I was there for 2 weeks. So
just wanted to go.
I'll just tell you the vibe. So if I had it my way, I would be at home. I would run on my lunch break. I would listen to fucking music all day, and I would paint all day. And I'd get up at 6 o'clock the next day, and I'd do it all over again. And I would let the calendar turn pages. All of a sudden, be 50 years old. And that's it. I need Kenzie in my life because Kenzie says, hey, life's happening, man. Like we got to go see the world, because I lack that ability. I constantly, and especially because I took so much time, I took the liberty of taking my sweet ass time, making sure that I was nice and stoned most of my 20s and not doing fucking shit, that I constantly am playing catch up with myself. So Kenzie, bless her heart, goes, hey,
let's go.
Yeah, we get time to go places, man. We got to go. So she's always dragging me on these trips. I'm never like, yeah, let's go to fucking Morocco. I'm like, I'm a homebody. I get a little nervous, but I always go. Dude, we went to Thailand. It was amazing. I was drunk the whole time in Thailand, though. And actually I was sober before that. And I, talked myself in, let's just have a beer in Thailand. Ended up drinking the entire trip. So this trip, I fucking told myself, even said some.
Do they even sell alcohol in Morocco?
Not in Morocco.
Yeah.
And it's super expensive at the places they do sell it. And it's like they only sell it in like tourist trap places. So I was going to go over there. The plan is to fly into Spain, in Madrid, rent a car, take it down south. Madrid's in the middle of Spain.
Yeah.
Take it down south, get to the Strait of Gibraltar. Take a ferry across and end up in Tangier, which is the port city. That's like the fucking Tangier Nights and shit. And then with the same car, drive down to the Moroccan coast, come around, go to the Sahara. It'd take about a week. Do a week long road trip. We landed in Spain late. The fucking car rental place is like, we gave your reservation away. It was totally like, not meet the parents, but just that kind of like, it just seemed like one thing after another.
Yeah.
And we're in Spain for the first time. We only know Mexican Spanish, and a little bit from fucking high school, and like a big difference over there is like, instead of gracias, they say gracias. They say it with a TH. And the urban and the myth is not the myth with me. Kenzie will say this is what's actually happening, but I'm too embarrassed to say because I don't want to be called out on this being false. But apparently this is what's going on. They had a king that had a lisp.
Oh.
And he made everybody speak with a fucking lisp to not question himself. And I did.
And those people didn't want to lose their heads. So,
no, and I did in fact hear gracias.
Yeah.
It is wild because people are talking to you full face, really pronunciated Spanish and then gracias. It's like, it's really weird. It's really strange. So it seems like everything's going wrong. The first night, our plane is fucking late. We get to the rental spot. Everything's fucking expensive in Spain. It's not that everything's expensive. It's that turning your fucking dollar into a euro is like is nuts. Kenzie traded 500.
Ukraine was the other way around because they have their own, it wasn't euros. So
okay.
It was,
dude, the fucking euro, man. Kenzie traded $500 and got 374 euros back, losing $100 and some change just for flipping around this dollar. It was crazy, dude.
Yeah, like, so Ukraine, I forget what the rate was, but it was like almost like, it might have been like 5,000 for, was about $100 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But so when I got back to the airport, had like a I
really?
mean, just like bricks, but it was everything
bricks of Ukrainian cash.
Yeah, like everything cost about what it should have.
Oh, okay.
So like I had to buy a phone charger because my power block
cost you about as much as a phone charger
was what
would.
it would cost here. So
yeah,
it was like,
and that's usually it around the world. Where you lose money is changing it.
Yeah.
Dude, for me, changing it, like I pretty much would lose 25 cents on the dollar changing.
Yeah, my boss had like a bank. I think his I don't know if his wife worked there or something, but they like made an arrangement and it was like a lesser fee kind of favor.
That's what's up. And, well, the trick is
if you plan ahead enough, the member you're a bank of can usually get it.
Yeah,
and that's no rate,
That's the
minimal.
Move. Apparently, that's the move, is like going over there, but.
Some currencies are hard to get though.
Yeah,
they can't get everything.
It's trippy. Like, and
they need some days.
Yeah, you're in a position where it's like, man, am I going over there with like cash? And if that cash, I rock one of those like under the waist fanny packs that
like Euro Trip.
You know what? I've never seen Euro Trip.
Oh, it's
yeah. Is that the Scotty doesn't know?
Yeah.
So I've seen that part. I mean,
the guy's got like this thing and it breaks open his button-up shirt and it's just like there's straps going everywhere. It's got like a gazillion
it's not
pockets.
Everywhere. It's cut proof and it's basically a fanny pack, but
it's just under your...
it doesn't extrude. It's like a flat thing and it fits a passport, credit cards, and cash. And I always
have one of those, but
I did the whole thing in Thailand with that thing on my waist. I did the whole. I mean, I never go anywhere without it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be caught without that.
Well, dude, if you lose your passport, like,
fuck.
Yeah, you're kind of screwed. Like,
especially if you're in an undesirable country, like,
or just a weird country, like not weird, but like, all right. So if you're in Canada, but you still got your California driver's license, that'll probably get sorted out a lot easier than if you're
fucking
in Morocco
Canada,
or
man.
Ukraine.
Okay, I'm about to say, bro, in the Sahara, try fucking whipping out your.
Yeah, I mean, and then
it was in some weird situation. So I'll tell you all about it. So we get there. They're like, hey, man, you can't take in broken fucking English, you can't take this rental car to Africa. Like, it's outside the European Union. Why the fuck would you be able to take this car to another continent? You know, like, they're kind of looking at us like, no, dude, you have to, like, cross a body of water. You're not taking our Spanish car to fucking Africa. And it made sense. So, like, now it's like, fuck, what are we going to do? Because now we're renting 2 cars. It's like we doubled our expenses, So we got down there. And, we found a fucking Airbnb. There's a lot of Airbnbs out there, almost everywhere.
Yeah.
I would say that there was never not an Airbnb. So we got all the way down. I forget what the farthest city south in Spain is, but we got all the way down at the port. It's basically, it looks like San Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like there's San Pedro. Yeah. And we returned the car. Dude. So before that though, the night, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The night we got in, we were able to find Airbnb and we stayed somewhere at 2:00 at night in this fucking stone village. It was a fucking trip, man. And like, you're seeing like signs for like that are in Spanish.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up the next thing. We end up fucking finding this guy and he's like, Airbnb? And we're like, see. He was like telling us to come on in. We end up like walking into this hotel, but like we walked through a living room to get to like where this guy's rooms were.
Yeah.
It was a trip. Everything smelled like fucking wood from the fucking 1100s. It was a trip. And I just I couldn't wait to get to bed. I stayed up the entire flight because I was not going to be pinned down by jet lag. I would rather have the roughest flight and stay up the whole time, maybe close my eyes for 45 minutes, but purposely deprive myself of sleep. So when it's time to go to bed, I'm going to fucking bed. You know what I'm saying? And they're on the other side of the world over there. It's pretty much an 8 hours ahead. So like right now, right now it's fucking.
I think Ukraine was 10.
Yeah. So if you just stay up late and set an alarm for the next day, you usually can get yourself balanced out pretty quick. Coming back was a fucking nightmare, dude. It's always fucking bad. So I'm like, hey, thank you. This guy was super cool. The smells were cool because it's like old wood and shit. Not like crazy spices in Spain. Like it's all like very fresh, basil-y, type shit.
Mediterranean.
Yeah. So we wake up the next day and we're a little south of Madrid in like the middle of the countryside. And when I say countryside, bro, we wake up and it's like a goddamn Olive Garden commercial, man. It's like yellow fields in every direction, man, with like a beautiful one tree up on the hilltop. Like it was fucking amazing. That's
awesome.
It was amazing, bro. I was like, I couldn't believe it. We're instantly hyped, dude. We're so hyped. We end up going to we're driving and Kenzie's like, we're on our way to our first stop. Kenzie rules at planning trips.
Oh yeah.
So I just sit down and buckle up and she's like, and
go with it.
And she's just like, we're doing this. And before you know it, like in Thailand, like all of a sudden, like I'm at an elephant sanctuary. And then all of a sudden, like I'm here and like, we're doing all of this cool shit. Yeah. And she has an itinerary mapped out with like an Excel sheet. She's a total dork like that. I love her. I need somebody like that in my life. I fucking love her for it. So she's like, you're going to want to see this. And I had told her a little bit back that like what I really wanted to see in Spain was the castles. Cause I'm a fucking nerd. I'm into concept art and fucking shit, dude.
They got some cool ones there.
Not only that, I went to the castle where they shot, where the Vale in Game of Thrones is.
Nice.
Oh man, it's up on this fucking hill that overlooks this white city, and I mean white, like everything's painted white color, like and it's fucking amazing, man. Yeah. And this is my first day in Spain, and I'm like, and we're heading. So that was that.
That's
and we're heading towards Spain, dude. The trippiest thing, or we're heading towards Morocco. The trippiest thing about Spain is everything is is like advertised. Is medieval. Okay, so like, have you been to New England?
Yeah.
Everything is like patriotism and like
it's all colonial.
It's all colonial.
Yeah. Tricorner hats and shit. Yeah.
Over there, it's all medieval. All medieval with Spanish on it. It's a fucking trip. It's like every sign that like that looks like Spanish nationalism is fucking like medieval looking, like a castle type like the pull-off diners and shit all have like castle architecture, but like even if it's like fake wooden, like a New England knockoff diner, with like a fake Uncle Sam out front, theirs would be
like the Tuscan farmhouse at the Olive Garden in Manhattan Beach.
Yes, exactly. So it's like that, but everything's castle. And I was telling her, man, like we ended up staying in I fucking forget the name of the city. It's in between. You're not gonna remember it. It's in between Madrid and the southern port, and it's a big city. It's one of the Spanish.
Seville?
Yes. Sevilla. Yeah. That's how they pronounce it. I think it's.
I'm a gringo.
Is Sevilla? Well, no, that's how the Spanish pronounce it. So I guess in English, it's. Pronounced Seville, but they pronounce their E's Sevilla. I only know that from my FIFA.
Well, it's got two L's too. So
I only know that from my FIFA experience, like because they say FC Sevilla.
Yeah,
and so and that's south of Madrid, right?
Yeah. Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. So we go to Sevilla. Dude, amazing, bro. Like fucking alleys. Alley city. Everything's an alley, everything's cobblestone, and I've never been to Italy or anything like that, so Kenzie's like kind of like, this kind of reminds me of like some parts of, but I was like, everybody's fucking, nobody works, everybody's hanging out and eating food and like talking and smoking, and like it was so cool, man.
So is that siesta thing like at 1 o'clock or whatever it is like everything just shut
real.
down. That's real.
It's real. And
because I was like, you know, you always hear it, and I'm like, but you know, big city, like,
and they're up forever. They go to bed at like 2
I've heard that,
every night. They eat at like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Oh, and tapas, it's amazing. It's it's pretty much free drinks, but you buy little plates of food. But we didn't really get tapas out till we got to Catalonia, and I'll get to that. Yeah, so we are. Am I boring you with this story?
No.
Okay,
it's awesome. Man.
So we stop in Sevilla. It's just the same day that I saw the fucking veil, dude. We're staying in like serious like an Italian job style neighborhood, man, where there's like people like kicking a soccer ball back and forth off the wall, like Spanish. Everybody's like acting like they're fucking, you know,
they're just hyped.
Yeah, it's like the culture is everybody's talking about football. It's so cool, dude. It's so neat. And I'm in bed in Sevilla. We're just resting up because it's 9 o'clock and we are fighting some jet lag, and we feel obligated to go back out, but like it's like fuck, man, like we're a little tired. And I'm telling her like, again, I'm a homebody. I'm very cautious about my environment. So I'm like, hey man, like I'm not that excited to go to Morocco. Like we're here. Like I fucking like my vibe as a foreigner here, you know, like nobody's in Spain. Nobody's got fucking time for you. Yeah. And that's very American, you know, like here, nobody, if you walk past a store, nobody really seeks you out.
Hey,
it's like,
come in.
Yeah, that doesn't really happen. And I like that, man. Because it's like, yo, dude, like I want to fucking decide if I want to come in there. Then there's Morocco, bro. Okay, so we take Spain. It just pretty much went like that for the rest of the trip. We ended up getting our car stuck in like this like garage. Like you had to like pull up in one of those Italian job garage doors, and it's a lift to go down to the hotel. It's like, imagine one of these Italian job neighborhoods. Everything looks like old fucking stone, but inside is beautiful, custom. Could look like the Getty Villa. Like, it's just the outside on the street view.
The old,
looks super old with like a wooden door that like that's not even a wooden door. It's plastered onto the wall. Once you open like the actual door that's like covered in vines and shit, you're in like a super modern lobby. Yeah. It's very trippy. It's like, and then
that would be. I think they got rules about, in like most of those old medieval cities, about like not changing the
outside. It's really cool because you're walking down the street and everything looks the same. You just see like little signs. It's like children's hospital and like this and that. And you look through the window and it's a total fucking hospital with a waiting room and like the whole deal. But from the outside, it looks like an extension off a fucking Olive Garden, you know, like it's fucking bananas. So we get to the port city of Tangier and I'm hyped because like it doesn't do me any good being on the other side of the world and being cautious and stuff. So I'm like, and we're going into a predominantly Muslim country, and I'm with Kenzie, so I want to like make sure she's like, and she's not gonna fucking cover up, you know, or anything like that. She will, but like I am an American. I don't know the vibe, you know, and I'm just cautious, you know. So I am gonna be excited. I'm gonna be not aggressive, but I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna like. I have a responsibility while I'm there, and Kenzie's my responsibility, you know? And like, that's all I know about the situation. I'm not on fucking Instagram. I don't know about people's trips. I don't know anything. All I know is I'm going to a Muslim African country. I got my lady with me. I'll be damned if anything happens to her. So I'm going to get in the mindset where like, I'm in physical charge. You know, she's the tour guide, but she's my responsibility. I'm going to act accordingly. So we're on our way over there, and we're going to Tangier, and as we're crossing the Strait of Gibraltar, it gets really fucking foggy, dude. And
oh wow,
and I'm like, okay, like it's a change of pace, but like we're still good, dude. We land in this port, and it's pretty much like super foggy San Pedro, and brother, it's like fucking dudes in robes, like the whole deal, the whole deal, but like cement and like cities, and pretty much it's a huge trip. It's like, dude, Tangier is so loud and so noisy, and everybody's trying to sell you something, but everybody I'll keep going, dude. We're in Tangier. We end up getting an Airbnb above like a French cafe.
Ooh,
it's like as if like a small cafe, like somebody who just like, and there's like paint on the door of the house that says like, so everybody speaks French in Morocco.
Yeah.
Because
it used to be French, right?
Yeah. There's Spanish in the port cities.
Yeah.
And then French as you get in, Arabic.
Yeah.
And no English. Kind of English, but like not. Why would they need to know it? So we're making our rounds through Tangier. It's very like, I have a hard time, especially me being a homebody. I have a really hard time letting my guard down. Not letting my guard down, but like relaxing my shoulders, like I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah. But by the end of the trip, you're like, everybody's back the fuck up. You get used to it, but your first couple of days, it takes you a second to acclimate, And so, and you're like, get better at haggling and shit. At first, you're like, when you first get there, you're buying things way too expensive. Like you're doing the thing. But anyways, we end up in Tangier, which is pretty much a city, but it's like somewhat developing. So there's like these huge towers. There's not really like sit around poverty. Like people aren't just like sitting around when they're poor. Everybody's working.
Everybody's hustling.
Yeah, everybody's working. Like, what if I respected that about it? Like, nobody's sitting around like.
It's not like going down Skid Row sit around downtown.
Nobody's just sitting around. It's like, yo, man, like everybody's doing something.
Yeah.
And Kenzie got some attention sometimes, but it was never negative. And I will say that. Will say that in Morocco, if you wave to somebody and say hi, they are waving back. And not only waving back, but are taken aback that you're taking the time to say hi to them. So with that
taken aback in like the LA sense, because in the South, it's everyone's just.
Hey, I'm talking about like workers who are like look tired and are sitting in the road with a hazard sign, and you're like me and Kenzie would wave and like. Like just excited for the human interaction. And there's like on the highways and stuff, we took the highway, and I say the highway because it's a really nice highway. But we ended up so our first day in Tangier wasn't a big deal. We knew what we were doing, and I was kind of like, hey, I'm tired. We went to like a jazz festival thing, and it was cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
And we got some tangine. I broke vegetarian in Morocco because I was like, dude, everybody here speaks French, and I don't even know how to fucking order anything.
Yeah.
And tangine looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
And I don't want to order the wrong thing and end up eating something super sketchy. I'd rather just have that chicken stew right there. Yeah. Like, it's a safe bet. It's called tangine.
Yeah.
And I can order tangine, and say merci beaucoup and be good to go, So I order the tangine, I break vegetarian. I'm like, okay, well, I'm eating tangine for the rest of the fucking trip. And they're like, oh, it's also a French influenced country, so I'll be having some fucking croissants the whole time I'm here. So I'll be living off croissants and tangine for the next week. And that was that. The next day we ended up, so there's Casbahs, rock the Casbah. What a Casbah is it's a fort. It's a fort. And do you remember in Aladdin? Aladdin was Saudi, I believe, but in Aladdin, they're like,
it was made up.
I've never left the city walls.
Yeah.
It's because I believe he lived in a Casbah, and these really exist. It's a huge fort with the first floor are all little houses and shops and shit, and it's about the size of, I would say it's about the size of Richmond Field. Okay. And it's like little walkways, no bigger than from that wall to this wall. Yeah. And it's all shops and little doorways to where people live. And there's like, I forget the name. They're called Medinas, marketplaces. Yeah. And so every city has one though. Mm-hmm. Or is it a souk? A souk is the market. I don't know. So, but the Casbah is the fort. Yeah. And every place we stayed, we went to the Casbah. Now, there's a lot of fucking history in the Casbah. The Casbah is like not only where the head of that city stayed, but that's where like if shit went down,
everyone would go there.
They'd wall up the city. And in doing so, once you get to in Tangier, we were able to stay out because Tangier is a port city. So it's like there's stores everywhere and the vibe is super like touristy. It's very like it's alive. But once you go to like the more conservative places, Marrakesh, you know, like where we stayed in a Casbah that was ancient and it was really strange, man. I mean, like wall on either side, a fucking walkway forever, ground, like dirt ground, and like you're walking and there's like families walking by you only, and it's like you are very, it feels very outsider-ish. And when you do walk by a store, it's very hustlesome.
Yeah.
My overall thing, did you see any of Jimmy's pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My overall experience in Morocco was this. We took a car and we drove it through the entire country. We got three tickets, and all it was.
Did you pay 'em?
I'll tell you about the first one. The first one's my favorite. So we ended up skipping one of these cities. I forget what city. We were on our way to Asoria by Kenji standard. It's a hippie beach town.
Yeah.
We ended up on our way there. We pulled off the freeway to stop at the place. It's got it's the biggest mosque in the world. I forget the name of it right now. But we pull off the freeway and we end up in this like what looks like a swap meet, but a swap meet with, I mean, there's people living in trash. I mean, like a really developing country swap meet. People selling broken phones, like shoes that don't match. Like it was fucking crazy. And we're just walking through because Kenzie found some fucking review of some like boba place or some place that makes good boba that somebody said you should go try. And it was the first time in my entire relationship with Kenzie where I said, hey, I don't feel safe walking you through here. We're gonna bail.
Yeah.
Like taking the reins and be like, we're gonna bail.
Yeah.
And she was cool. She respected that, you know. She was like, okay. And because I was not relaxed, dude. I found myself just like very eyes over the shoulders, and there was just no need for us to be there.
Yeah, for
and
boba.
We're fighting fucking daylight, and this is our second day there. We haven't really been on the road at night. I still don't know the vibe. Like I still haven't figured it out. Of course, because we're American. We grew up on like Black Hawk Down and shit, you know, like, no, really. So I don't really know what's going down. All I know is the sun's going down. I want this car parked somewhere by the time the sun goes down. And before we got to that city with the swap meet, we ended up we stopped at another Casbah in this other city, and we got hustled. Like they did a henna tattoo on Kenzie's arm. It's where the blue city is, or the it's like an entire white city with a garden in it. We were taking pictures and somebody came up and pretty hustled Kenzie into a henna tattoo. And then we were like, and then pretty much said, pay as you like. And we were like, okay, here's this. And they're like, this is nothing. Pay us this. And we got hustled for like $15, $20.
Oh, wow.
And so we're already in a bad mood.
Yeah.
We pull off the freeway, and now we're in the swap meet land. And we're like, and I'm like, yo, like, what the fuck? I'm reminiscing about Spain. We were like in the Italian job, and it looked like the Olive Garden and shit. And now we're being hustled, and people are living in trash and shit. And I was like, fuck, babe, like I really want to experience this with you, but like I'm finding myself like very on edge this entire trip, you know? Like, and it's healthy for me to experience these things, but it's like it's tough because I drained my savings account going on this trip, you know? And like I changed careers. Like I'm already in like a confusing time in my life, you know? And so like I'm feeling kind of down about this. And she's like, okay, the sun's going down. Let's book it to Asoria. It's this little hippie beach town that I heard about. And so I'm thinking like, oh, that you heard about, like this is going to be another fucking situation. So the sun's going down. We're booking it. We got no radio. There's like, I mean, the radio is like whatever. We're driving along this freeway and we end up out of like the whatever city. And we're driving. Sun's going down, and like we missed the turnoff for a gas station. Not a big deal. We're driving, and we get to we're like driving in the backlands, and it's like it's not very pretty. It's like a lot of like dirt and rocks and shit, but there's like these crazy ancient irrigation systems, and it starts to get
work.
I don't know. It starts to get really trippy because we're finding these clay huts, and then we're finding street signs, and what that is, it's the native Berber people. And Kenzie will be Kenzie's better at telling you what exactly the Berber people are.
Oh yeah.
But their language looks like fucking Webdings, dude. And so there's these road signs that are in Arabic, French, and Webdings. And when I say Webdings, I mean like a circle with a fucking moon shape, an arrow, a dash, and like what looks like a smiley face, kind of. Like, it's fucking crazy, man. And I'm feeling like, and this is just what's coming to us. And now the sun is like, it looks like it's starting to go down. We have like a half tank of gas, and we're going to Hutville. You know what I'm saying? And if these people,
they're not cool,
yeah. And if these people aren't cool, like we got a really interesting situation going on right now, you know, because like we're two foreigners. I was carrying my cash and my passport on me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm going through everything. I have a fucking lady I need to take care of.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm on defense. She's on some like eat, pray, love shit. She's down to go fucking wherever. And I'm fucking panicked because I feel like I'm on some man on fire, protect this lady shit.
And like, you don't want to, Man on Fire is so underrated. But like, you don't want to like also sleep in the car in a foreign country in the middle of the desert either, you know? Cause like I mean, in different countries, like
because you don't
in Singapore,
know.
you can't chew gum, right? Like
I didn't know that.
You go to jail, like they're like
really,
but like there's just weird shit all over the place.
Yeah,
and it's like that could cost you like a week. Like you don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
so we're driving on the freeway, and bless Kenzie's heart. Kenzie's looking at the map and goes, "Oh, I want to take the coast." And fucking bless this little butterfly's heart. I'm like, of course, like let's take the coast. So we're driving towards the coast, and we end up in this town, and it looks pretty developed, and it looks developed in that like they're building things.
Yeah.
And it's
active construction.
Yeah, active construction, and there's on the beach and there's some places in Morocco where there's construction that just got left alone, and I mean like 16-story buildings that are hollow, like it's made out of stone, like Call of Duty levels. Like it's fucking crazy. So we get to this town, and it's like there is active construction, and I'm like, yo, man, where's this money coming from? And of course, we like take a left, and it's like about at 5:00 at night, and an entire refinery is getting out.
Oh,
and everybody works at the refinery, man.
Yeah.
It's like an El Segundo Chevron situation.
Yeah.
That's where everybody was. It's like, and I mean like an unregulated African refinery, bro. I mean like the biggest fucking refinery I've ever seen. Huge. Like monumental, like unregulated for like, I mean, like ozone and no, fuck that.
None
dude.
Of those little covers on the tanks that you see.
I mean, just skyscraper of pipes, dude, like just ginormous. So we're taking a left, and because we get to the coast where the refinery is, and then we're taking what would be like their PCH.
Yeah.
And we're driving, and then all of the sudden, the road's not that paved anymore. And I'm like, and the sun's going down. We're now on like a gravel fucking thing.
Yeah.
And we're going, dude. There's potholes. Nobody's touched this fucking road in forever. It's like kind of asphalt, but you can only drive like 25 because you never know. And now, if the sun goes down, we're not even on a street anymore.
Yeah.
We're on a fucking trail, dude. Man, we're driving, and there's like people looking at us like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? Like a level of like an economic class that where it's like their family car is like a horse that carries like a carriage, bro. And like the kids are wearing like robes, and this is what we're doing. So now we're on the coast, and this is a fucking this is not a Californian coast.
Yeah.
This is a fucking, like, it was eerie. It's like if Mars had a fucking ocean, dude.
Huh.
It's fucking trippy, man. It's like, and the farther we got, the more I'd look in the rear view window, and this monument of a refinery was disappearing, and we were just driving through cities. Imagine being like one of the, like the only car driving through like a little village where there's people selling shit on the street.
And that's gotta be weird too, because it's like, this is the only car here.
Yeah, and we're and there's two white dudes, there's two white people in the car, and they're driving like a 2018 Kia Picanto.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, it's all bad. So we keep driving, and I'm like, please fucking like get us there, you know, like with the gas, everything going chill. Kenzie's driving. I'm starting to get stressed out. We roll up, and so we're rolling up to this stop, and there's like police checkpoints and stuff, and it's a police checkpoint. They tell Kenzie to pull over, and I'm like, no way. There's like nobody in either direction. The fucking Moroccan police are pulling Kenzie over. Yeah. And they pull over, and they kind of talk, and they kind of start speaking some English. And they're like, we have international driver's licenses and shit, and we give them our information. Yeah. They ask Kenzie to get out of the car. And they're talking to Kenzie, and they're like, go behind the van. And they seriously point Kenzie to the other side of the street behind the police van. And I'm like sitting in the driver's seat, like, okay, so do I get out of the car and just try to murk these people? Yeah, like, and then now I'm a fugitive in Morocco. Like I'm like, I can't stop thinking about like calling Kenzie's family and be like something happened and Kenzie is gone, you know? Because I don't know. Again, we grew up on Black Hawk Down and fucking Jarhead and shit. Yeah. We don't fucking know, you know? Because and this is what's fucked up, man.
There's no one else there.
Well, you turn on the fucking news and it's never like, hey, go visit the rest of the world. It's how fucking scary the world is. Now Kenzie's pulled over. We're on the fucking coast of Mars. They're pointing Kenzie to go behind the police fucking van. And I'm sitting in the passenger seat saying, this is it. It came down to this moment. I fucking knew we should have stayed in Spain. Kenzie's going behind this police car. Boom. I didn't even fucking finish that thought. Kenzie's walking back to the car. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on, babe? And she's like, this is such a fucking scam. And I was like, what's going on? She's like, hold on. She grabs her wallet and goes back to the car. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like excited now. Now I'm like, dude, nobody's going to die. Yeah. You know, like Kenzie's came back to the car. She's got her wallet, blah, blah, blah. Kenzie comes back to the car. I fucking give her the biggest kiss in the world. I'm like, dude, what the fuck was that about? Apparently, the car's parked on the side of the road, but the door to the van is open, and it's a fucking guy sitting there with the fucking rule book. And whatever infraction you got, he finds it in his rule book and tells you how much you owe the fucking cops.
No way.
And we told them we were a foreigner, and they fucking were like, how's... And pretty much told us like the equivalent of $12 in American.
$12.
And like looked at Kenzie like, sorry, $12.
At least it was only $12 though.
Dude, and we're like, I'm like, $12 fucking dollars? Like I would have easily traded like a part of my tuition at my college for fucking Kenzie's life back, you know? And so... And I'm like, oh my God, give him fucking 15.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
To tip him out.
Keep the change.
Yeah. So Kenzie comes back, and now we're laughing because like it's the second day. Now, reminder, this is the same day we've gotten hustled. Yeah. You know, I didn't even mention getting hustled, parking the car. Some guy says he has a baby. He's talking to me. He has a baby, signaling a pregnant wife in French. I can't understand him, but I think I'm paying for parking, but I end up just giving some guy fucking money because he showed up to where the parking spots are in a fucking orange vest, acting like he was the parking guy.
That's a bold move.
Dude, this is so I did that. We got hustled in the Casbah for the henna tattoos. We it took the coast. We got pulled over and got a traffic
$12 ticket.
We ended up in that swap meet. I'm ready to go. I don't care where the fuck we're going. We could go sleep in a fucking tank.
Yeah.
I want to go. I've had such a long day, you know?
Yeah.
So we're not far from it. We end up back on a paved road. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
The road's paved. Thank God, dude. It says welcome to Astoria, and there's cops in the front waving us through, and we end up in what would be fucking Santa Monica. Like kids roller skating, dude. It was amazing. This is where like Rolling Stones would write a song about Morocco, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the coast makes so much sense now. People are parasailing and doing like Sea-Doo tours and shit. And apparently I got a ring. It's fucking downstairs, but I felt so inclined to buy like a piece of jewelry from this city. I loved it so much, dude.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Dude, we showed up and our plan was to stay there for one night, sleep there, and wake up the next day and dip. I grabbed Kenzie. I was like, I'm not leaving here.
Yeah.
I'm staying here for 2 days. I'm staying here tonight, a whole day tomorrow, and then we'll wake up the next day, sleep in a little bit, and then bounce. Because I knew that as soon as we bounce, we're right back in the fucking shit, man.
Yeah.
You know, we're right back into the fucking madness that is Morocco. And not to downplay the people in Morocco, they're great, dude.
Yeah.
They wave them, they're super, but it's a hustler's nation. It was built off marketplace and deals and haggling and stuff.
Yeah.
And that has accumulated into a culture that is aggressive to a Westerner who
I bet
is like has
just
a bubble and shit.
You know, you're just used to the price on the
and
like,
what you take is what you get. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I miss the most when I get back from these vacations are the rules set in America. I love that you can go and it's like, no, you can't do that because it's the law.
Yeah.
Over in these countries, you never really know. And actually, Mexico gives me the worst feeling of that. When I'm in Mexico, I never really know.
Yeah,
you never really know like what the deal is, you know? And then when you get home, you're like finally like, oh man, like what a fucking zoo that place is, man. So anyways, we end up, it turns out every fucking city is some fucking stress case to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Jimmy had a beautiful time.
Yeah.
Shout out Jimmy. You make a hell of a travel blog one day. It's not for me, man.
Yeah.
I was counting down the days, man. It was like we left Astoria and we ended up in the next city. Fuck. We ended up in the next city. What was cool as fuck though is we drove the car across the country, and some of the landscapes in Morocco are so pretty, man. And I'm talking African landscapes. So like
and it's just untouched too.
Yeah,
you know,
mountainous Africa. Some parts looked like just like, and I mean like Mars, man. Like just really. And we ended up driving into the Sahara, and in the Sahara. We took a camel an hour in, stayed in like these Berber huts and did the thing, but it was very like touristy.
Yeah,
there was like a
guided,
there was like a dinner and like this and that. But the best part of the Morocco trip was not Astoria, was for sure the best part of the trip. Another great part was surviving. You know, another great part was like by the end of it. But there were cities like the capital, Marrakesh. Like I wanted to hide in the hotel room. Like it just was too exhausting, man. It's just like when I was out there, like you're just a fucking like a dollar sign, you know, and nowhere you go, you're really welcome. Like unless you're buying something and everybody's trying to sell you shit, and it's just like there's nowhere to relax, man, except for your hotel room. So like I would just
I feel like so in Kiev it was snowing, like it snowed like right after we got there. It wasn't snowing when we got there, but it started snowing. Winter has a way of like kind of just tampering all that crap out of there.
Yeah.
What
do you mean?
Because like, so where the show was, like I didn't have a beanie, so it started snowing. It's like, I need a beanie.
Yeah.
Like I had a jacket and stuff, but like, so apparently like I was talking to one of the Canadian...
cold up there too, right?
Yeah, it was cold. It was in November. So,
like Siberian cold, right?
It was... Not that cold.
Really?
But it was, you know.
I thought that whole area of the world would like gets like fucking.
It was. I think the coldest it got when we were there was like 23.
That's still pretty cold.
It's cold, but it was. You know,
and is that in like mountainous region?
No, it's just like a city.
Oh yeah,
but
see,
like
if you were up in the mountains
but
out
like
there,
the mall setup,
that.
like near where the show was, it was next to like a little mall that had been thrown together in different stages. You could just tell like no portion looked the same. But it was like just a bunch of little stalls and same kind of vibe. But and like one of the guys was like, dude, I was in here yesterday, like they were all screaming at me. He goes, the snow just started coming down. And he's like, how much you pay for that? I was like, it was like $5 or something. And he was like, dude, I was in here yesterday because I was looking at the weather, knew it was gonna snow, and like I wasn't doing that. Yeah. So he's in there, and they're like haggling with him, yelling at him, and he's like, because I asked him like which spot to go to. I was like, hey man, like where'd
you get the beanie?
Yeah, I was like, did you get that beanie here by chance? He's like, oh yeah, you gotta go through here. It was like, and it was just a trip, like just because when it's cold, like you're just like,
wait,
your natural instinct is to just kind of like conserve energy.
People mellowed out when it got cold. Yeah, see, like
you're not yelling at everybody like every hey, come on, and so
out in Morocco.
And I mean, it was crowded too, so. But it was kind of a cool little spot. Yeah,
I have a buddy who went to Moscow and he said it was sketchy. He said it was just really weird. There's like an underground of there's an underground of Russia that is just kind of like
so.
He came on the podcast and said, Matt Daniel, I guess if you bring it up on the podcast, it's open range. Yeah. But he said that he'd go up to like there'd be like bouncers outside of buildings, and he would just be like walking to a bar to go get a drink or something. And he'd be like, hey, you like little girls? Come inside. And like little shit, dude. And he'd be like, yo, what? And then I can't help but feel again American syndrome, but like
taken,
right? And like going into the situation and be like, I'm gonna get you fucking out of here.
Yeah, we kind of just kept it low key because I mean it was a long day anyways. We had to like get there and we weren't leaving our stuff at the hall either because like we didn't know. So it was like an hour to set up. It starts at 9. Like we didn't know like are they punctual
what
people?
Were you selling?
Are they? It was my boss is like vape juice.
Oh, okay.
So and then like the other and the other guy was selling a different line of juice, and it was like, but it was like
I should walk into this place because I get my dog cut right there.
Oh yeah, that place is cool. I should
walk in.
Who does it?
Which one of the people?
Or do you do the self wash?
No. So we just took Jack in to get his nails cut, and it was she's really sweet, redheaded.
Oh
girl. Yeah, she's really sweet. We were talking about how it could never be a vet. Because it just would be fucking too shitty. I digress.
Yeah.
So you were,
so it's like, we weren't gonna be. It was just like a long day, and that like where the hotel, like it had a desk and everything, but it wasn't the Marriott. It was like a converted apartment building type of deal.
Yeah.
And there was like a restaurant like right around the corner that was like teriyaki burgers and sushi.
Yummy.
Like it was, but like that was pretty much where we went every night, except the last night we went. Looked on Yelp somewhere.
Do you like eating the food? That's where I party. That's how I get down.
Yeah. So the last night we went to, I mean, it was a budgeted trip, so it was, but it was good. Like especially the last night I had like a rabbit stew type thing, and then just like a steak and like, it was and the menu I love eating. Google Translate came in clutch, man, because it's like they're on a whole different alphabet.
Oh,
like
Jesus.
And
just
like,
thinking about
and talking to people at the show, it was like,
just taking a fucking.
But most everyone spoke English, which is kind of like they all speak like 5 languages because there's that whole area has just got a lot of different Russian, Ukrainian. There's
those are different languages.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So everyone kind of grows up on same alphabet, but it's like I guess it's kind of like what you hear about Spanish and Portuguese. Like you could kind of get like the vibe, but it's different. Going one way is easier than going the other way.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't really know.
I mean, like Italian job. You hear people speaking Italian. If you're good at Spanish, you're like, oh wait, that kind of sounds like Spanish for food. But that's
all.
Italian,
it's all Latin cognates.
It's all they're all related. So
for sure,
it's like the same type of thing. They're related, but a lot of them spoke English and like. No weird accent, like it's kind of strange.
How do they feel about Americans?
Pretty stoked.
Yeah.
Like I mean, they were.
I will say this.
Yeah, they were pretty. They were pretty open. It was like, oh, where are you from? Like, because I guess a lot of Canadians go there. And like, so it was like they were like, oh, you know, what part of Canada? And we're like, oh no, we're American.
Motherfucker, Canada does do that, dude. Fucking Angel and Shelby were just telling me about the Iranian shot down the fucking Ukrainian passenger plane with Canadians in it, dude.
Yeah,
Jesus. Sorry, not to bring that up.
But I get, you know, they're like, everyone was kind of, oh, what part of Canada? And it's like, oh no, we're from LA. And they're like, oh, California? Oh, that's awesome. Like, oh yeah, like they just get jazzed. So
so me and Kenzie have learned that in lieu of like the Trump global policies and everybody, in order to play it safe, people don't understand. We have learned that people don't understand. Well, in a country that thinks you're a dollar sign, you kind of I stopped telling people where I was from. Yeah. In Morocco, but when in Spain, people ask, we got a different reaction. I've seen a different reaction than saying I'm American than I'm Californian. When I say I'm Californian, everybody is like, "Oh, Hollywood, the Eagles, Hotel." Dude, we had a fucking taxi driver in Thailand who played Hotel California for 45 minutes, like the entire fucking ride. And bless his heart, he was so excited to have us in his car. But we told the Enterprise guy in Tangier that we were American. We had to, because we were running our information through him. And he was like, oh, you guys have big bucks, credit cards and stuff. And then had managed to also say, Trump, nobody else matters, only America, right? And we were like, yo, man, like,
don't come at me like that, man.
I wasn't even in a position to really defend myself, it's like,
I guess you just gotta go.
So I said, fuck Trump, just to like get that out of the way. I was like, hey man, fuck Trump. Yeah. Like, because I don't know, I have a podcast pretty good with people. I could tell that this guy and his family don't talk very good things about Trump policies, whether they're true or not. Nobody get your fucking political fucking buns in a knot. I just diffuse the situation.
Yeah, that's a smart move too. Yeah. Like, and also, we went the day after, like, I flew out the day after the election. So, like, I didn't, like, I was at the airport and I had to, like, look up who won because, you know, went to bed early, flight was super early.
Oh, Trump won the election while you were.
That's when I went. So, well, I was, like, so I went to bed, didn't see the results as they came in. Yeah. And then when I was at LAX, it was like, oh, who won?
Yeah.
Like, and so it was, like, there wasn't really any. You know, like, I mean, they're not watching our presidential campaigns. Like, it's not like, you know, like the super political nerds, I'm sure, watch like the British parliamentary, you know.
That's things, on the fucking TV out there, on the TV.
You know, but it's not like every country. It's like the people who are into it, but it's like you're not going to know every single country. Like they just didn't really, no one really cared.
No, in Tangier, on like the TV, there's a channel for every country's news station. So you can like watch Chinese news. You could watch, it's not like America where like you're only getting American news. And they were like,
I wonder if that's the port city thing.
This was at the time where they brought up, they wanted to impeach Trump. I found out that they were attempting to impeach Trump.
Yeah, they've been talking about that like day one.
So, but this is like when it was in the news. It was in the headlines, impeachment, and everybody's meeting up. And then the Brexit thing was full fire. And some of these news stations, like I watched a German news channel in English, and they were kind of like treating it like, oh, let's tune back to see what the Americans up to. Ooh, impeachment. I'll finish the trip by saying this. When we went back to fucking Spain, Spain's amazing. Yeah. As an American, you will. It's easy to coexist with Spanish culture because nobody gives a fuck about you. Nobody gives a fuck about you. It's very common to being in America, and like we're nice guys. I mean, you say hi to people. You say hi to people. They say hi back. Yeah. You know, I love the cafe lifestyle. They don't have fucking coffee over there, and that kills me. It's only espresso. You can order an Americano, but it's a watered down espresso shot.
Water,
yeah, it's bullshit. Fuck that. However,
you're not down with the espresso?
Fuck that. Because I drink my coffee black. So when I drink my espresso, it's like fucking motor oil, and I can't stand it. It's like coffee is just the amount of blackness that I like. So.
And you're not gonna get a latte or any
No,
of that foo-foo.
fuck. No. I just did black tea,
Yeah.
green and black teas out there.
That's a good move.
And then figured when I got back to the States, I'd enjoy my American cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying?
The cup of Joe.
Yeah, I missed it. So I will say, Spain, love it. If you can exchange your money out there, if you can exchange your money here before you go out there, do that. It's amazing. Beautiful fucking country. I mean, beautiful.
Yeah.
In the middle of every country, or in the middle of every major city, it seems like they went to the tallest, and I wonder if they did. I didn't speak to anybody, but it seems like the goal is we're going to find the tallest hill in this country and put a church up there, and a church or a castle, and you could be driving on the freeway and see a distant city.
That was kind of a medieval thing too.
Yeah,
it's just the high ground. It's
bring
easier.
It closer to God or some shit.
No,
like
it's
that.
just it's the high ground. So if people are invading, like, you know, it's easier to defend. You know, the citadel, like, that's on a hill.
It makes for a beautiful landscape because at nighttime they shine lights up on it. The whole country drives on the right side of the road. So far I've Australia, Thailand. There's a few others.
And Britain, right?
Britain, yeah. But it's amazing. We actually managed to get all the way up to the border and went over the border in between. There's a town that's about as big as Redondo Beach, or there's a country as big as Redondo Beach. It's called Andorra.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we stay there, and it's super mountainous.
Cool?
Yeah, it's just really cool to go to a country that you'll never fucking go to ever again. It's in the mountains. It's fucking beautiful.
Tiny, yeah.
Came back down. I will say that Spain is exactly how everybody makes it. My favorite city is Valencia. It's like Venice Beach. It's fucking epic. If I ever have to watch Spanish soccer, I'm gonna watch Valencia FC because I fuck with the city. It's epic. The people are cool. It's artsy as fuck. It's Venice Beach. It's fucking awesome. The second thing that I didn't understand is we were there at a time of political disruption in the Spanish.
What year was it?
I didn't know this. This was last year. So I didn't know that the Catalonians and the Spanish are two different fucking things. As a matter of fact, the Catalonians in the north of Spain don't even refer to Spain as Spain. They refer to it as Catalonia.
Yeah.
And they recognize Barcelona, not Madrid, as their capital. And as we were driving north out of Spain and into Catalonia, we'd see a lot of graffiti, a lot of like revolution shit, spray paint on the walls stuff, with like a lot of like political figures spray painted like in stencil and shit. It was very neat. And then, dude, there was in San Sebastian, which is on the very north point of Spain, two things. They do tapas. If you go to Spain, you got to do tapas. And what tapas is they pretty much open up what is like a Hermosa pier, and it's tiny plates of food all over the bar. And you buy the little plates of food, and the drinks are like free. Yeah, but it's like the little plates of food is like a slice of French roll, a piece of cheese with like maybe 2 pieces of ham, toothpick through it with like an olive on top of it. It's like little snacks. So you just have like little snacks, and that is it was so fun to eat tapas. It was so fun in Spain. It was fun to see the castles. It's amazing. But you know,
the castles are
it's next level.
Yeah,
it's next level. But you know what, man? You get home and there's just like, dude, anybody who is
there's
like,
also just your bed too. Like
there's your bed, but man, like I love the American street, dude. I love our restaurants. I love our sports. I love our culture. There's a sense of, I love adventure, but there is a sense of awkwardness, and I'm not so sure that ever goes away, man. I might just be, I grew up in the South Bay, California. I still think it's one of the most beautiful places in the entire world. And
yeah, it is gorgeous.
And
weather is perfect.
Yeah. Well, no, I will say that northern Spain is like, if Yosemite had a country, it would be the northern part of Spain. It's a fucking joke, dude. It's like, it's a joke. It's like you're driving But you know what? Like, there's also fucking toll roads where it costs $50 to get from one city to another. Like,
dude, DC's like that. Like
I love DC, sir. Do
cool.
not talk shit on DC
DC's
in front
cool
of me.
as shit, but like, if you got to get on those toll roads, man, they're like they're like the mafia.
Yeah,
it's toll road companies.
It's crazy.
Man.
It's crazy. We take a lift.
Yeah.
We flew in and we took a lift.
Yeah, and the subway's pretty easy,
Yeah.
over there. But
and that was in Boston, dude. Have you been to Boston?
Yeah.
I love Boston. See,
did you do that little hiking freedom trail thing that kind of
I did. We stayed in
that thing's fun.
Something park. What's right there? The park. It's like the big park. Back Bay. We stayed in the Back Bay area, and we rented bikes, like the little fucking
cool
Google bikes or whatever.
Yeah.
The red bikes. Yeah. We just did those, and we went around, man. And dude, I love seeing the oldest fucking churches. I love seeing the fucking history. I'm such a fucking nerd.
Like, it's a trip too, because like you could just tell it's old. Like, and it, I don't know how to like put like it. So say, say the old North Church in Boston, right, where they hung the lanterns and shit.
Yeah.
You could build that the same materials right now. I mean, 'cause it's in great shape. It looks great.
Yeah. You're talking about the one by the library, right?
Yeah. You look at it and you're like, that's old.
Yeah.
But you could, on a lot right next to it, you could have someone build it, paint, try and make it look exactly the same, and you would look at that and go, that's new. Something just about
it's the ghost, bro, and I mean that it's the fucking ghost, dude. Like, it's the fucking it's the Boston fucking history, and that's what I will not.
It's eerie with all those tombstones everywhere too. That are like you can't even read the names, and they're like crooked. And it's like,
I love that shit.
The sidewalk's wide, and then all of a sudden it's super narrow because there's
So how cool is that?
Yeah,
dude, people don't understand. There's two moments that I was like, I had to stop Kenzie and be like, oh my god, and there's I think they all happened in DC, but some of them was. One, seeing the physical Declaration of Independence in the rotunda, if anything, is like fucking. That's like one of the like last levels in a video game, like in the Assassin's Creed when you finally get to build the whole villa and something. You're just like, look at this shit. It was fucking crazy. That seeing it's in the Hall of Records. Seeing the Hall of Records from the outside.
That place is cool too.
Dude, the ghost in the Lincoln Memorial, like being in the Lincoln Memorial with Abe Lincoln and being
just
like
how big it is.
How big, and like that fucking the way the wind blows, just like it's so weird.
Yeah.
And then seeing the building on Capitol Hill, dude. Like being like
and that's that thing's big too. Like
people don't get it, but that thing is fucking huge.
Like, any TV show, they're doing the B-roll, they're doing the helicopter around the National Mall, and it's like, oh, okay, that's be, you see it on the news all the time, but it's like when you're in there, it's like holy shit, this is fucking huge.
Walking up to Capitol Hill, and I don't know if they did it purposely, but it really is. People don't understand, but it is like a very slow incline to it, and if you look at it from the bottom of, I forget what they call it, the mall.
Yeah.
If you're on the mall and you're looking at the Capitol building, I mean, like. Dude, and it sounds so cheesy, but we got a lot of problems in America, but being an American is not so fucking bad. And seeing, and I couldn't help but feel all the things that we could be, when I see that shit. I was like, I didn't feel very like, oh man, like, fuck this, man. This guy, like, I'm like, man, look at all
the, and then the mall is surrounded by a fuck ton of museums that are free.
Oh, God bless the Smithsonian, man.
Like you drop you're supposed to drop $1 or whatever in, but it's like you just walk in. Like,
I love it, man, and especially
they got a lot of stuff in there too. Like
and there's good barbecue in DC too.
Yeah,
there's really good barbecue in DC.
Yep.
Dude, we did 2 hours. That's fucking it.
Dude, that is nuts.
That happened quick, huh?
Yeah, it did.
Dude, we didn't. I feel like we didn't even talk about everything. Let's have you back on here, man.
Yeah, we can do it for sure, man.
Is there anything that you want to plug before we wrap this up? I don't. If you're local, head over to the fucking Moose Lodge and
Moose Lodge, check it out
and say what's
it's all
up
for the kids.
Yeah, if you're vaping out there, I got a couple buddies maybe to stop into the shop.
We'll get a vapor. Yeah.
But more importantly, let's get you back in here, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Next time. I'm down. Let's. I could use some, like, we didn't even get to talk about your grandfather's photos.
And, oh yeah, I mean, because you posted earlier about wanting some cool vehicles.
Yeah, I do, like, and I also
that propeller plane. Like they used to just strap that thing with just a fuck ton of rockets and bombs, and it would just like. It was supposed to originally be World War II, I think, but the war was over before it got deployed.
So they did it for fun in the South.
They used it in Korea and Vietnam.
God damn!
But it was still a propeller plane in the age of jets. Like
there's plenty for us to still talk about, and then we'll talk movies and video games next time. Alan Rush, thanks for coming, dude. Let's have you again on.
You got it.
Later, dudes.
Later.